bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love, love, love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than, let me put the fives up. Five, 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 the fifth dimension in the place to be. So I am bringing to you, as usual, the news to infuse. If you so choose to infuse with that light, and choosing to infuse with the light means we are not refusing. If you infuse, you are not refusing. When you refuse, you get fried on the grid. And the light grid is being activated. You guys are hearing, I don't like to say you guys, you soul bodies, you light warriors are hearing about the solar flares. There is so much light intensity pouring into the planet right now that is accelerating. These are some beautiful times, at the same times not so beautiful, right? Because there's some ugly stuff that we got to walk through as we're shedding, as we're facing our responsibilities in the month of Set, in the month of Capricorn. I might add, those of you who have your calendars, today is the 17th day of the month of Set. Right? Yesterday was the 16th, and in our 2016 year, that means we had a portal. So happy portal yesterday, 1616 portal for the 16th day in the 2016 year, right? That we are in until the new year comes around on equinox, the spring equinox, the true new year for the true timeline for those who are falling back in line with the seasonal times, right? With the Medu Neter, the nature, the divine nature of it all that we are returning to, right? So I greet y'all in love and light. Welcome, welcome. And we want to go in on some things about the 5D, right? As I'm bringing you that news to infuse, we're going to infuse with some of this 5D light, some of this 5D information on the 5D grid, right? Because this light grid is helping to activate constantly, consistently, daily, momentally, the 5D fifth dimension that we are embarking upon, whether those of us have reached there or not, whether you have shifted your dimensional timelines or not. More likely, if you've been attracted to this channel, you are on your way. You are well on your way. You're already in 5D and you're continuing to unfold in your soul unfoldment, in your ascension, in your soul ascension, and what we're here to do, be, and be a part of. Ashe. So let me get into a little bit of what's happening right now in the happenings of it all, the coincidences that are happening, because all incidences are happenings and we are coexisting in these happenings. So these are true coexistences. Ashe. Ashe. So with that, let me first, before I go any further, thank those of you who have been contributing, who have been sending your love, light, energy. As I said, especially as what I am going through. I'm still here in Jamaica. Things are a little bit better. I can't say it's perfect. For those of you who are in this energy, you know what it looks like. It ain't pretty, but we gonna walk with that ugly until it becomes beautiful. So there is a lot that we are finding. It should feel a little smoother right now if you are really truly on your work and you're finding the responsibility, you're sifting through the shadows to be able to see what is really happening, right? Ashe, ashe. Welcome. We're sifting as I've been saying, as we're shifting, we are sifting. And a lot of the chosen ones are being sifted out even more and more, right? And we have to do more turning over. This is like the shakedown is still happening, and we're shaking out the residual soot on our soul. We're getting that opportunity to really turn over, especially with Neptune where it is. Let's not forget about Neptune. I haven't been talking about it, but I'm going to start to remind us of Neptune that is in its final stage final degrees, final cycle in the end of the cycle. It's 12-house cycle in Pisces that is going to be moving into Aries and really helping us to get rid of the illusions and stepping into the aspirations, right? It's given us an opportunity. A lot of us souls have chosen to be here at this choice point, energetically, cosmically speaking, to align with the cosmos, to utilize the principalities and the help of these energies to catapult us, to commission with us, to help us in these transmissions of light, because we're all angles of light, right? To help us in this transitional time. And for a lot of us, it is a big deal to remove from illusions, not just from this lifetime, but also previous lifetimes, right? So we're here to uncover, as I'd like to say. We're not discovering anything, right? If you think about it, is not good. Like when you don't, it's a not, right? When you discover, you not cover, right? Just like when you dislike something, right? You like it or you dislike it, which means you do not like it. So we are uncovering, we're removing the veils as the veils are thinning. We're removing the veils from not just this lifetime, but a lot of blockages we may have had and have been carrying from previous lifetimes. This is an opportunity to remove a major gook of soot off your soul, right? So it's so much that is happening right now, especially with the energies that another energy I would like to remind us of is the north node, south nodes. The nodes are shifting as of this month. They will be shifting. If you're not sure of what the nodes are, go ahead and look it up. You can Google, you can also just put it in YouTube, and you'll see a lot of information on north nodes, south nodes. You may see one of my videos where I've spoken on it before. um, and it has to do with where you're going and where you're coming from. And we're changing from North Node and South Node in Aries and Libra to now going into Pisces and Virgo, right? So if you have any placements in Pisces and Virgo, this works tightly with you. That's me. I'm one of those. I got a lot of Virgo placements, but not only that, my North Node and South Nodes align with this particular thing, right? And I'm going to do a separate video going in a little bit deeper about the nodes, going in a little bit more about, um, just what the nodes mean, how we align with our nodes and what they mean for us. But right now, not but, and right now, it's to know, just kind of pay attention to what the South Node, as what I'm going to share with you now, has to do more with the South Node in Libra, which is about the we, about the justice, about the balance, the harmony, and coming from the past. So what we have been doing over the past 18 months, how has it been working with you? And so I see this fullness, it coming to a fullness as I want to say, as we close out. I don't know who this may be for. It's for whoever it resonates with, but it's to really realize, I'm speaking to those of us who, the light warriors who have really ascended to a certain level, is to realize another level of your responsibility that we have with others. It's the responsibility of the collective, and how we interact and interrelate with one another while we're in 5D, while most of our loved ones may still be in the shadows of 3D, or they may be out of the shadows. They may be in the higher aspects of 3D. They may be in the fourth dimensional. They may be pivoting back and forth between the two, right? Like some of us are. A lot of us that are more into 5D, sometimes we still drop back into some of the 4D or three-dimensional realms of things and situations and issues. And that just highlights to you where you need your work. Like, right, when you find yourself in the shadows of 3D, it's not to beat up on yourself, it's to recognize, oh, I got some work to do here, right? There's some shadows still lurking here that are keeping back this aspect of me from fully engaging into the fifth dimension, into 5D, into expressions, full expressions of creative life in time, of creation in time, right? So to bring us back to the responsibility, what I'm saying to those of you who are raising your vibrations, doing the soul work, ascending in your soul, the responsibility that we must have as we are relating with others is to know that what we do, we can't just give. We can't just give of our energy, our time, and things like that, because what we do is exchanging energy. We're responsible. Thank you, Spirit. We're responsible for how we exchange energy. And this is one of the hard things, especially for those of us who are still used to traversing through the 3D realms, and things like that. It may seem mean to others, but we must find the responsibility. We must recognize it, identify it. And I'm being transparent and speaking even from a personal lesson that I am learning, am looking into, and have learned, and am mastering right now. It literally hit me yesterday as I was looking at the shore, literally just looking at the coastline, looking at the water, the waves coming in. I wish I had that view for you all, but it was getting dark real quick. Um, the waves were coming in, and you can look at the horizon. It looks like the water is coming in from the firmament, from the skies, and washing upon the shores. And as I was looking at it, I'm watching the subconscious mind, watching your subconscious. The ocean represents, emotions, the feelings. So it's the subconscious mind. It's the ocean of emotions washing upon the shores of consciousness. Land usually represents consciousness. So it's bringing your subconscious into the conscious, if that makes sense. It's watching the interaction and the intercourse of the soul coming in from the heavens, coming in from the firmament. And this is the ever living water that is constantly flowing in upon our shores of our consciousness, bringing everything from the subconscious mind. And why I see that, why I say that, is why I see that and why I say that is because this is what entering into 5D looks like in our soul work. We are to be bringing all the subconscious feelings, thoughts and feelings, we are to be bringing it into the shores of our soul. We are to be crashing. It's almost like it's where the subconscious meets the conscious. The subconscious is bringing all that we need to know into our light of consciousness. And so things that are unknown to us, we have to be willing to allow the feelings, the emotions to bring in the knowing, right, of whatever it is, because who feels it knows it. There's something that you're going to feel that's going to bring a knowing and a recognition to you. But we have to be open to that subconscious ocean. We have to be open to what it's bringing to us from the heavens, from the celestials, coming from the firmament, coming from out afar, which is really within, right? So as I'm looking at that, I'm looking at the responsibility for me personally. I'm looking at what's being washed upon my shores of consciousness and brought into light. And it was looking at responsibility on a whole new level. I had been talking about it all year. We were in the window of responsibility when we had 2 moons in Capricorn. We were looking at responsibility again when we had Pluto leaving out of Capricorn into Aquarius around the 19th of November. Like there's this theme that we have had to look at that is really helping us to face the set, right? Because that Capricorn is the set energy. It is the energy of the principalities of responsibility. So it is helping us to see what it is we're to be responsible for. And I've been doing so much facilitating and soul work that I know it logically. I know it even knowledge wise. I feel it, but I haven't felt it to this degree, right? Which is the higher level. I haven't looked at it from that higher ascended level because I've been so busy working and facilitating. Oftentimes I don't see myself at the ascended level that maybe others see me at. So it was upon recognizing that and seeing that, oh, for those who are like me, for those who and I'm seeing the numbers 33 right now. So I know this is, a master number of creative completion. For those of you who are like this type of light warrior, you are at a point now where our responsibility is at a high, like the bar has been raised. We are responsible, get this, for not just protecting ourselves and doing what we need to do for our soul, but we are responsible for how we relate and interrelate with others, in the sense of, because who know better do better. So those of you who are mastering yourselves, you know better. And so when others are not in compliance with spiritual laws and, in their ignorance and so forth, we have to have the responsibility of how we interact with them. So we cannot give like we used to, even though it may seem nice, even though it may seem like, especially for family member and friends, like, oh, I can do this for you. um the responsibility is saying you cannot. You are actually responsible for not exchanging energies like that. Listen carefully why, because I had someone ask me, so you're not supposed to give to anyone? And it's like, no, I'm not saying that. You are not supposed to give where the energies are conflicting. If there is no clarification, if there is no truth being exchanged between the two, right, then you should not be sharing what you have with them. And I'm not saying in a stingy way, but what comes from you is light, the potency of your light in anything that you give. And I want us to really like think about this and understand that what you come with, everything that comes from you is a part of you, is an extension from you. So if you're giving someone money, if you're lending someone money, if you're giving someone your car, if you're giving them space in your house, things like whatever it is that you're doing that it feels like this is the nice thing to do, think twice. If you are an ascending soul in that way, if you are a light warrior, if you are mastering your soul, doing shadow work and things like that that are elevating you, right? That you are having your DNA activation, all of this. If you are truly working in that field, in that lane, and you are advancing and developing as a soul holistically, then we must be careful of how we share our energy with others. And I'm not saying be mean to them, but we have to know, we have to be responsible enough to say, I cannot give this to you. I literally had to share that with a family member while I'm here. Like, it may seem like I'm being mean, but I cannot give to you because it's going to be harmful to you. Not only me, right? But it is going to be harmful to you because I know what comes with my light. If I give you some money, the money is an extension of me, and it comes with what everything that I'm about in my light. Now, if you're not ready for that, then you attract a certain type of conflict energy. It is an incoherent frequency and vibration that you attract in your life. And I'm responsible for knowing that. You didn't know any better, right? The other person didn't know any better. But those of us who do know better, we are responsible for saying, no, I cannot give to you. And they don't even have to understand it. Like I tell them, look, you may not understand it, but I cannot give to you. And it's not just because of me. It's because I also have to look out for you, right? Big dummy. Like, it's like I see them doing dumb stuff and ignorant stuff. And it's like, dang, and I gotta watch out for you, because you don't know. You think it's as simple as borrowing something or asking for something or me helping you. And it may seem mean that, oh, why can't you help me? But it's because I know what you're about and our energies clash. We're not in the same timeline, right? My light is on something else, and then my light is going to be an exposure to your darkness and the things that you're not ready for, and your energy has a resistance. So if that resistance is there, even if they don't say it, which most of the time they don't, right, you're going to be giving to them, and they're going to be thinking, yeah, I'm about what they're even going to lie. Yeah, I'm about that. I understand that spiritual stuff. Yeah, I get it. But they really don't. And then you go and give to them, because we have a lot of pretenders. They will pretend that they are on your level. They will pretend that they respect your level. And then you give them something, and then you who know better, you give them something. You share your energy. You energy exchange with them in whatever way that may be. I'm talking every type of way. Relation way. Hanging out with them, eating with them, smoking with them, drinking with them, intercoursing with them. In whatever way you choose to exchange that energy, there's going to be some kickback. there's going to be a ricochet. So we are responsible for how we share this energy with them. And this is what I'm looking at personally for me and sharing it with you in this month of Set, right? In this month of Capricorn, where we are to be looking at the principalities of responsibility. So that let me see, oh, that's what I'm responsible for. I am now being faced with having to be responsible for not just how I exchange energy because of how it's going to counteract and hit me, right? As I experienced in the situation of being here in Jamaica, some of you who have um, given donations or who have known the story or have been following the story, you know what has been happening. And this is happening through family, right? Which brings me to my second point of this. This was the twist in it. When I really was meditating on this, I want us to hear this part out carefully, because a lot of us will think strangers. A lot of us would think that we are not supposed to do anything with strangers. And here's the thing. As I said, who knows better, do better. That means who knows more is more responsible. And think about this. When you know your family members, that means what? You know more. You know more of what they are about. So you can't lie to yourself. You can't pretend. You know more about them. It's better off, when I saw it, it was shown to me that it's better off when you don't really know. You don't know what's going on. But the more you know, the more you are responsible for. And oftentimes, human nature, we're backwards with that. We do that a little bit backwards. We feel like, oh, family and friends, I know them. I should only do things for them. See, this is the shadow of the 3D that has it backwards. When you get to the 5D level and you get to the level of responsibility in 5D, you realize that no, it's actually the opposite, right? It's actually that you're better off doing things for people you don't really know, because you don't really know. You're not held accountable for what you don't know. You're mainly held accountable for what you know. And you can't fool the universe, because you can't fool you, and the universe is you. So you can't unknow what you know. Even if you don't tell anybody, it's in you. And once you know it, you know. So you know your friends and family's issues, you know what they're about. And yet, if you still choose to engage in that way at this level, right? I'm not speaking about everybody. Hear me out. I'm speaking for those who are at a certain level in their soul ascension. The more you get potent with your light, the more you are responsible for what you ignite. Let me say that again, right? The more you get potent with your light is the more you are responsible for what you ignite within that energy exchange and what you are bringing up. So I'm saying all of this because the next move that I'm seeing is that a lot of us are going to get a rude awakening when we see how we're relating with others are having a huge ricochet effect. Because what happens is their fists are closed. Let me explain it to you this way. Their fists are closed. In their energetic field, it's almost like they have closed fists. So they cannot receive. Their receptors are not open, so they cannot receive. So when you come with your light and you're doing and you're exchanging with them, your light is coming out with a force. It's just exuding, right? At the potency that you have. I'm talking to my light warriors. I'm talking to my 144. I'm talking to my chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. Chosen. When you do things, when your potency is just radiating, pa, 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 right? And you go and do something for someone who has resistance and their energetic field is like a closed fist. It ricochets off of this closed fist. It bounces off of it, hits back, and it hits back at you. And it ricochets, meaning it's like it hits and it's like a collision for them. So it's bad for them as well as it is bad for you. Right? And for them, it may even be worse because they don't understand nothing about the spiritual realm. They're not understanding what you do. They're not even understanding where it comes from. But you know, right? Because you have done, and I had to be, a spirit arrested me with this. I had to be arrested with this, that you cannot give. Be careful. And what are you doing? The energies are not compatible, you are endangering not only yourself, but you're endangering even them. And that's what I mean by a different level of responsibility. I had to tell a family member, like, look, I have to be looking out for you in ways that you are not looking out for you. Because this is deeper than you think. When it comes to energy exchange and everything is energy, it's deeper than you think. So it's not just about you asking for a favor. It's not just about what I can do to help you. First of all, it's about what you could do to help yourself, realistically and truthfully speaking. But it is about understanding that in these energies, I am held more responsible than you are. You can get away with more than I can because of your ignorance to the light, your lack of development in the light, right? Those of us who are more developed in our soul ascension in the light, we have a higher responsibility to make sure that we don't engage in certain ways. And I'm saying this to really impress upon you, not impose, but impress this imprint of information for you to understand this is part of the changing times into 5D. We have to realize that we are held responsible. So we can't blame them. So when they're doing stuff and we see a lot of it, we can't blame them. And I say all of this to kind of bring it full circle back to the South Node. When I looked at all of this, I realized, oh snap, this is what elevation in the South Node looks like. I have evolved through the South Node, gathering what we needed to gather in the South Node in Libra, which is to have expanding your compassion for the collective. And in your compassion, you have an understanding that they know not what they do, but you do. And you have a responsibility. So with that, true responsibility, this is true justice and true responsibility in the South Node is saying, I now know what not to do. True justice means I'm not trying to be vindicated for a situation. I'm not looking for validation or vindication. I am looking for the truth in me. I'm looking for how I show up. Again, this is responsibility. I'm looking at how I show up in life, how I show up on this infinite existence. How have I showed up? And holding myself accountable and responsible for the way I have been relating with others, which has warranted certain ricochets, certain disrespect, certain things to happen and come my way. How did I play a part? Because of what? My energetic exchange. So this next level of responsibility is asking us to come up and look at your energy exchange. This is the true spiritual or soul trade and commerce. We are constantly having a trade and commerce in the energetic realm if we pay attention to how we're sharing with others, how we're doing and exchanging energy with others in whatever way that may be. You are responsible. So don't think in your head, oh, I got to do this because it's the right thing or the nice thing to do. What we have to do is stop and ask ourselves, what do you know? What do you know about yourself? What do you know about that person? So look at through your perspective of yourself. What is it that you really know about yourself through your perspective? Secondly, what is it that you know about the perspective of that other who is on the outside of you? And that is the step where you're really opening your capacity for the collective. You're really moving yourself out of the way. First, you look at yourself, and then once you know thyself, you move yourself out of the way and you look at the perspective of the other. You look at that perspective of the other situation, and then you can know what direction the energy is coming in. It's like, oh, now I can read this clearly. Now I can see what the direction is because I'm looking at my perspective, I'm looking at their perspective, and now I know what direction this is. This is true responsibility. First, looking at how you show up, how you exist, and through your perspective of what is standing. And your perspective doesn't mean your opinion. It means the position that you're standing in. Where is your position? Where am I standing? What am I standing in? What am I standing for? What is that to thee? What is it that I know of myself? Good, bad, and the ugly. Now that I know that, step away from that. Move you out of the way completely so that you can see the other perspective. Now let me see what you're about. Let me see what you stand for and this and that. And you know what people stand for. They show you. If they're not telling you with their words, they're telling you with their actions. You know exactly what they're about and what they're not about, especially if you stop lying to yourself about what you hope for them to be about, what you are expecting them to be about. Which brings me back to my point: expect nothing and accept everything. Accept people for who they are, release them to their now. And this is again true responsibility, expanding your compassion for the collective. I know who you are, and because I know that I can't share energy with you. My apologies if this offends you, but I will not. I'm at a point right now, I don't know about you, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm at a point right now where I have to do zero tolerance. No excuses. Don't care who you are. As much as it hurts me to tell you no, it hurts me more to tell you yes, knowing the consequences that may follow due to the incoherent vibrations, frequencies, and so forth. I know all too well what is to come of it, right? And I can't expect anything different from that. I have to accept the truth of what is in the frequencies that is being told to me, that is being shown to me. And this is to those light warriors out there. When you see it and you know it, you can't unknow it. So what I'm telling you is, don't put yourself in a compromising, in a spiritual compromising situation by giving to the cause that is without a cause and not willing to pause, right? They're not willing to change. So you accept them where they are, but then do not exchange. Do not exchange with those who are not willing to be a part of the change. And I'm talking about for their own betterment, not for you, not for us, not for the light people, but for them. Right? So this truth, I felt that it was important as I was on the ocean and just really looking at what was washing upon the shores of our consciousness and what's being brought to light. 5D people stand up. 5D people unite. This is the age of the Aquarian. This is the age of the knowing. And we are responsible for being a part of what we know. We are responsible for taking up the mantle of our soul unfolding journey and continuing that infinite marathon of continuing to unfold. This is our job. This is our responsibility. So I see that at this pivotal point right now, and I felt that I needed to share that so that it's what I was kind of being guided to share, so that we understand. It was like, oh snap, those spiritual people, those of us who are at another level, the ascendant masters type people, like, we have this responsibility. You can't operate like everybody else. You may see other people doing it. This is not for everybody. You may see others doing it and say, oh, that's, how come they get, because they are them. You won't. And you're going to see it. You'll know by the things that beset you, by the things that fall upon you. Like, I had a rude awakening when I came to Jamaica. It was like, if this was the most major lesson, when we went through that Sekhmet month of destruction, that Scorpio month of death to rebirth, that elimination month where things needed to be eliminated, and a lot of us were getting a rude awakening. That was my rude awakening. Everything that had happened shook the foundations of whatever else was left of what I was standing on in regards to how I'm relating with people and finding this balance, because we have to harmonize and balance in the way that we treat each other. And so one of the most respectable and responsible things we can do is say no. I'm not obliged to help you right now. I'm not in a position where I could help you, or you're not in a position. I'm sorry, or I don't say I'm sorry, but I apologize, but you are not in a position where I could help you right now. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to take that for whoever it works for. That's what I'm going to use. My apologies, but you're not in a position where I can help you right now, because that's really the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter being the physical. The truth of the physical is they are not in a position where you can help. You're going to get yourselves hurt by putting yourself in the mix. right? By prematurely doing things to help take them out of their folly when they're not willing to do it themselves, right? And you will know who to give to. It's not to say don't give to anyone. As I explained to someone when they brought that up to me, I was saying this earlier. What I said to him was, I give when spirit shows me who I can give to. Sometimes I'll be walking on the street and it'll just be like, give them something, give them that. I'll just do. But when I feel the energy, when especially a family member and a friend, and I feel them and I know what they're about, I am not obliged. I cannot, will not, I choose not to infuse with your refusal of the light. I choose not to partake in that energetic exchange that is boom dynamite, right? That is ready to blow up in my face and blow up for you as well. I'm not willing to take that. It's not wise. It's not moving in wisdom. Experiences teaches wisdom. And when you truly have the wisdom, as I had the wisdom in the wind blowing so heavy yesterday when I was up in the hills, and it was so like you can just hear it whoo whistling. The wisdom in the wind will guide you. It will guide you. And it was howling and the ancestors was speaking. This is not to be done. Do not share. Do not share out your rations. Do not feed your pearls to swines, right? And I'm not calling people no pigs. I'm just saying what is being said. You guys heard the saying. You light bodies heard the saying. Do not feed your pearls to swine. So whatever you have, it's a matter of being responsible for your powerful light. And that's how I saw it, plain and simple. That's the most plain and simple way that I can say it to you. Be responsible for your power of light. You are blinding others, and you are imposing in places where they're not ready for, even if they're asking for it. You who know better have to say, nope, I see what's happening here. I cannot, I will not, because you are not ready. Ashe? So, look at how you have been relating. Look at it through the rest of this responsibility month. Look at something that you are responsible, for. And so as we were portaling through, this is what was being shown to me yesterday on the 1616 portal. Ashe, ashe, right? And one of the things that came to me today too that I want to leave with us is really having your mind over your matter. Your mind is your soul. The matter is the body. So basically, mind over matter is the same thing as saying soul over body. We have to put our soul journey first before the things of the body, that the things of the flesh that we want, the parts of our soul that are only listening to the flesh, right? So this is things that we are working on, the responsibility to turn over in this event in time. And as I say time, before I close out and make sure I get everything I need to get out. But as I'm speaking on time, I want to remind us that through this portal, something I was looking at as I'm looking at this portal, 1616 portal, for those who are in the true timeline of things, remembering that we're all portals within portals. That is another thing to understand as we're portaling through. Don't just think of this one portal. We are all portals portaling through, right? And we are portaling from somewhere through somewhere, and we are the portaling. And we are all vessels in time. We're timekeepers, time pushers, time vessels. We keep time. Life exists because of the time that we are, if you understand what I'm saying. Life exists because of the portaling that you are. You are a portal, and you're portaling through. You've portaled through someone to get here, and you are a portal in a sense. So this portaling is not just specific portal dates. It's constantly in every now moment knowing what the next elevation is, right? The next loophole that you can portal through, right? So I wanted to share that with us as we're shifting, as we're sifting, as we're pushing our dimensional timelines, and we're expanding our dimensions into the 5D and beyond. Some of us are in 6th dimension. Some of us are in 7th dimension, even though we are within the realms of the Earth's 5th dimension. right? As we are receiving fifth density light that is constantly pouring in, right? And so we have to, this is what most of us are in alignment with on the light grid, lighting up and expanding the bandwidth of the light grid. We have this responsibility. So the more you master and engage as your light body self, we must know and be responsible for what we are not to do, right? So I wanted to definitely share that with you all. I wasn't going to come on till later, but Spirit was saying, no, I need to, because there's so much information that I also need to share with you on the nodes. I want to go deeper into the nodes. So we'll do a separate video on the nodes and the threshold. I still have the threshold information to share with you, which yesterday was a threshold number. The bridge number between the 3D world and our world was 12, which is 3. So there was another threshold there that we're having. So that's just a little mini something something. Any reminders? Let me think before I close out. Anything else? Remember to look out for any of the workshops. The next full moon workshop is going to be in March, with the full moon in March. We have a solar plexus workshop, 3-day solar plexus workshop, and we have the calendar workshop that we are going to be sharing with those of you who are in the calendar, that have a calendar and want to look into the calendar and understand the calendar a little bit more. We're definitely going to open that up soon as possible. I'm squaring everything out here. Thank you again for those who are sending the donations. I'm actually going to be meeting with someone about a retreat space on about Friday or Saturday. So I will keep you all updated on the options. I'm simply narrowing down the options. I want to have the best place for us that is, cohabitant and able to have us cultivate and elevate at the same darn time. So keep coming in with your donations, whatever you have to share. Remember, if you send 50 or more, you are automatically on the list for an issuance of the calendar as a thank you to the cause. As soon as the calendars come out, you will be one of the first to get the next year's calendar, our second calendar that will be coming out, 5D calendar. So please continue if you want to share. If it's once a month, I'm definitely going to open up a membership where whatever that is, it gives into the retreat. And thank you again, Laura. I sent shout out to Laura, who cannot wait for the retreat next year. So we already have, some of you are already ready. Start preparing, start saving from now. We will be able to have a payment plan. We're getting a nice, affordable package ready and together for you, for us to take this next level, this next venture. As we light up on the light grid, the 5D colonies are lighting up. This is the opening and the beginning of our ancestral passage and our as we're moving, I want to say our transitioning through this passage of practicing communal living, that next level of life, the 5D life, those of us who want to live collectively in the love frequency, in the true time reality. This is what will be opening up through that retreat. So the retreat is only the beginning, right? So I can't wait till we all meet up, the Soul Tribers. Whoever's in alignment, whoever's meant to be there, will be there. If you don't get it, that's okay. The next time we will do it annually. So we will do something where you will be able to catch in right divine timing. So continue to give to the cause in whatever way you can. In just meditation, sending your light whatever way that you can. Continue to do that. Please remember to continue to like, subscribe, share, comment. I'm learning how to see y'all comments now here. As I said, I don't have my computer, so I'm learning how to do this, looking for the comments here. So I did see some of them and responded to some of you. Thank you. I have some emails to still follow up. Who was asking me something? I do want to answer someone who was asking me something about the natal chart, doing a video on the natal chart. We're actually going to be doing a workshop. That's another one that's coming up, Cosmos and Me workshop. Um, and the ebook, I already have the book all ready to go with it. I haven't released it because I want to do it with the group first. I want to do the course first, and once we do the course and the book comes with the course, then we'll be able to sell the book, release the book, whether it be on Amazon in whatever way, to release the Cosmos in Me ebook, right? So there's some of that coming up. But to answer your question quickly, how the best way to know your natal chart is to, and I'm glad you're looking into that, is to, because you're getting to know thyself. It's your natal chart is your blueprint. It's your nativity scene, your cosmic nativity scene. So the best way is to pull up any free, speak to me, spirit. There are free apps. Some of you may know them. The best one, the one I like, is Time Passages. So look up the Time Passages app, and whatever you put in your information, put in your date, as much as you can, the time, the place, all that they ask you. And when you put that in, it'll bring up your natal chart. It'll bring up your nativity scene, which has all the placements of everything, everywhere that you were, all the placements when you were born. So the energies that you've come in, your north node and south node, which is very important, right? You're gonna see your sun sign, your moon sign, and I'm gonna do a little video about that. As I'm going into it now, I can feel myself being pulled into it, so I don't want to extend this part of the video. So you're right, I will do a separate video, but just to answer your question real quick, pull up Time Passages, and put in your information, and it will show you everything. Feel free to contact me if you would like to have some type of natal chart reading where I can go through it with you. And it's not really reading you, although you may get some reading out of it like that. I'm really teaching you how to read your chart. I'm speaking to you about what is in that chart for you, what that planet means for you, and how you can look at the chart and understand the changes, because the energies are always changing and how they interact with our natal chart. The current energies interacting with our natal chart energies, and it's always changing. So it's good that you understand them so that you know, all right, when this planet is over here, what does that mean for my natal planet, who was in a specific house at that time? What is it activating in me right now? What is it pushing in me? What is it pulling in me right now? What is it telling me about myself? What energetic wave am I surfing on? Right? How does it parallel to right now and what's happening right now? Because it is your spiritual cosmic blueprint. Believe me, it says a lot when you understand where you are coming from and why you are here, and how you are to navigate through these cosmic frequencies that are here on this earth. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Right? So welcome to 5D. Welcome to the Aquarian age. Know that there is a lot of work to do as our subconscious ocean of emotions are crashing into the shores of our conscious mind. Allow yourself to find the responsibility in your holistic soul for your soul unfolding journey. Ashe. And so with that, I'm going to leave that right there. Thanking you all once again for your love, your offerings, your donations, your tuning into this channel. And for those who are subscribing and adding to the channel, thank you to keep us growing and expanding the bandwidth for those who need to know thyself. So with that, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. And with that, I am just now seeing 5 and 5. 5, 5, the master number of spiritual, of balance between the spiritual and physical. And that's what we are here to be having in the 5th dimension. Love frequency, true harmony, and bringing a balance between the physical and the spiritual into a oneness, removing the perspective of duality, removing the illusion of duality, and coming into the harmony of oneness, into the uno, the huna of us all, the one out of the many. Ashe. Peace, love, and light. Let your fire ignite your soul's delight.